Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, pat on your back, personal fitness.
Hope everybody's doing well and enjoying the wonderful day, wonderful week so far. Middle of June, pretty much halfway through the 6 months. We're getting close to the halfway point of the year. So more to follow on that in the upcoming weeks. But tonight I thought with the nicer weather, mostly it's been kind of up and down here in Ontario, but generally nicer weather, more daylight available to us every day. So I thought we'd talk about some ways to add on, to add them up. Because for a lot of us, we always struggle maybe to find that little bit extra, or sometimes we get so caught up in the amount of activity we're doing or the amount of time we have, we don't feel it's enough. I don't have an hour and a half to work out, so why work out? I need to get this much activity or an exercise every day, but where can I find that chunk of 45 minutes to half an hour to 20 minutes, whatever it is you're looking to obtain? And so I want to pop on here and just give you that reminder that things can be cumulative. We don't have to do everything at once. And again, for a lot of us, we get in that mindset, myself included, of everything. I should do an hour. I've got to roll and I've got to warm up. I've got to work out and cool down. So I need that time. But keeping in mind that physical activity can be cumulative. So all these little extras we can add up over time. So maybe we get 20 minutes of activity in a day, but maybe it's in 5 blocks of 4 minutes, and that gives us 20 minutes. There's different ways to look through it, and especially this time of year, it's an easy way to try to take advantage of, again, the extra daylight, better temperatures, hopefully a little less wind and precipitation. So just a few strategies to help you build up that physical activity. Think of it as even trying to get those 10,000 steps a lot of us shoot for. Some of these things will help you get a few extra steps in every day. Those little extra steps, again, all add up. You don't have to do all 10,000 at once. It's 10,000 throughout the day. Same thing here. We don't have to get all of our activity in, or our required physical activity in all at once. We can build on it throughout the day. So just a few strategies here to help get that extra physical activity in while we can take advantage of our surroundings, our environment. And I'd love to hear from you if you're with us live on recording here, or with live, or if you're tuning in on recording. What are some ways you get some little bits of extra physical activity in? How do you sneak in some extra physical activity into your day, into your week, into your routines? Let us know in the chats, in the comments here, because again, I'd love to hear from you, have the interaction, but maybe something you're doing will give someone else an idea. Oh, they're doing that. Maybe I could do that. I could fit that into my day. Or I do this thing that's similar to what they just said. Maybe I could tweak a little bit and get even more of a benefit out of my day, out of my physical activity. So please share. Let us know. We don't want to just make the team here. We want to make the team better. And that's with sharing our experiences with each other so we can grow and evolve and again, continue to ascend till the end. So the first one we'll talk about, maybe not a very popular one, but thinking of if you're out somewhere this time of year, or maybe you're at festivals or different attractions going on, concerts. There's lots of those in the summer. Even just out for grocery shopping or just shopping, try to park a little farther away from the entrance. We always like that close spot so we can get in, get out, maybe go on to the next thing, but try to park a little farther away. Those little extra steps, again, add up to your day. Think you get extra steps in, extra steps on the way out. And if you're like some of us, you forget where you parked, you get some extra steps while you're looking for that parking spot that you picked. But further away, it gives us that little extra step. And again, it's just a few extra steps. It doesn't take up a ton more of our time. Usually, if your car is further away, there's less chances of it maybe getting dinged or something like that. And again, you get lots of space when you get back with your cart or with your lawn chairs and stuff. Again, from those festivals, you have lots of room to throw things in the trunk, in the car, pack up, and have the space and time to do so. So I challenge you to find a further a little further. It doesn't have to be super far away. If you want to challenge yourself to do that, you could, but even just a little further than you normally would. So maybe see kind of where you park in relation to the store and just go a little further away. Again, adding those steps in, it all adds up. Another way to maybe add in some physical activity, maybe some active transportation. Is there a way you could maybe bike to school or to work or to the store? Maybe you can bike to get a few groceries, bring your backpack to grab a few things. Maybe again, you can walk to work. Maybe you can bike. Maybe there's a bike rack and the bike, you can lock your bike up and bike both ways to and from work. Again, it doesn't have to be a strenuous, like super fast, 100 miles an hour, super intense bike ride. It could just be kind of a leisurely bike ride to get you there and back, but it's still physical activity. It still counts. It piles up. It's cumulative. So adding these little tips in where maybe we can't bike ride to work or walk to work in the winter in those months because it's dark, it's colder, maybe not as safe because of the snow and ice and things. So let's take advantage of that now in the spring, summer months, looking at that active transport. Again, maybe work's too far away, but maybe you could walk to the store. Maybe you could walk to a market or a park. Maybe you could, again, bike somewhere. Maybe you're meeting a friend for coffee or something. Maybe you can bike there instead of driving. Save a parking spot for other people who maybe have to drive. And again, you get that activity in. Plus, you get fresh air, you get some sun, you get all those benefits from it as well. Not just the physical activity, but that's what we're focusing on right now. So think of ways you could maybe implement some active transport. Maybe at work, another way you could do is to add more physical activity in, have active meetings. Rather than sitting in a room in an office, talking, being stagnant, still sedentary, let's get up, let's go for a walk. This is one of the things that I was really impressed with when I went to Vancouver, I guess 10 or more years ago now. But I was really blown away by the amount of active meetings I saw. Just walking around the city, seeing people leave their buildings, talk, having their meetings, discussing different strategies, even as simple as on their way to the bus to go home. You would see two people walking, discussing things, and then when they get to their buses, okay, we'll pick it up here tomorrow, and they both went their separate ways. But they're making work use of some of that active time. But rather than sitting and talking, they were out enjoying nature, getting out of the office, getting fresh air, getting some sunlight, some vitamin D, so your body feels better, it clears your mind. We benefit from all those factors. But again, we get that physical activity and we get movement. We get a break from our chairs. So when we come back to them, we're a little more clear-minded. We're a little more energetic, enthusiastic to get into maybe that afternoon task that we have waiting for us. So try to think of those ways where maybe you can go on an active meeting with someone, walk around the block. Maybe you're on a phone meeting, but maybe you can go out and walk around while you're on your phone. Maybe you have your AirPods in or some Bluetooth headphones to be hands-free, or just old-fashioned, hold the phone here. A lot of us talk this way now. We get a lot of wind and stuff there. Remember, phones work this way too, up to the ear and then into the mouthpiece. I mean, maybe you can get a nice active meeting in, even if it's a phone meeting. Remember, we're not tied to a desk potentially anymore. Maybe you can call from a cell phone and be active on your way. Again, make the most of your time. Checking off that box of getting maybe an active lunchtime in or a little physical activity in, but you're also getting a meeting done. So you're, again, killing two birds, one stone. So active meetings, active phone calls, things like that. Even now, if you had to, you could do an active Zoom where you're here, maybe you're on live on the camera. Maybe if it's okay with the person you're talking to or the group you're talking with, maybe you go just picture a picture of you. So it's not you moving around as you're trying to walk and it's a little distracting. Maybe you can talk to them in advance, say, hey, I'll be out, I'll be moving, but I'm here, I'm active, I'm engaged, but you won't see me because I don't want to be distracting with the movements. Or maybe they're okay with it and you can be in that movement mode too. And there's different ways. I listened to a podcast one time where it was a 45-minute to an hour recording, and he was out, the guest was out on a hike while he was being interviewed and recording. He had his headphones in with his mic. He was had his phone connected, and he was just walking, doing his afternoon hike because that was his routine, that was his activity, but he was making the most of the time by being on the call to be interviewed. So yeah, maybe we can do some active meetings. Maybe you can challenge your groups to all be maybe join in by their phones so they can be active. If you're not all in the same place, maybe you can have an active meeting together, but each being in a different place, kind of doing it that hybrid model we've seen so far, where we're connected, we're there, but we're still outside, we're still enjoying that nature, we're still present. We're kind of get the best of both worlds. And again, all those steps, all that movement, just not being sedentary and still, it all adds up. It all accumulates throughout the day to give you that level of activity that you're looking for. So in a few ways, just into your work day, your regular day, that you can maybe get some physical activity in at home, thinking of things around the house. Maybe you're going to be out in the garden. Maybe you want to plant some things in the garden, some vegetables, some flowers. Gardening is physical activity. So being out, digging in the soil, putting the plants in, lugging the leaf bags around, mowing the grass, all that stuff, it's all physical activity, all those things that we can add in to our day. So maybe you think of different ways, again, that you can incorporate some of that. Maybe you get home and you just go outside, maybe you put some music on and rake up the grass that you've mowed for a little bit, or clean up some of the leaves. You've probably done that already, maybe, but in the springtime, cleaning up those leaves that have fallen and were down for the winter. Maybe you're cleaning up the flower beds and getting ready to plant new things for the summer. Then you're out, you're tending them, you're de-weeding the gardens, watering, carrying a watering can around, watering the plants. It's all physical activity. So maybe there's a spot in your yard that isn't quite getting used. Maybe it's time you could put in a little garden, plant a few bushes, a couple of vegetables or something, depending what area you're in or what might grow. Maybe it's something you can do together as a family, or you all go out and work in the garden and check the weeds and water the plants and keep the squirrels and stuff out of your garden somehow. Again, all those movements are physical activity. All that yard work, cutting the grass, weed whacking, lugging the lawn bags around, it's all physical activity. It all adds up. So we can kind of maximize our physical activity, and if we're following an exercise routine, those things again all add together. It's all cumulative. It's just that much more that we can add on to our daily life. And those simple things like parking farther away and maybe finding a way to be on an active meeting, getting that stuff done around the house. Again, even inside, doing those things, maybe spring cleaning the windows, cleaning the ductworks, getting the sheets out, cleaning the cupboards, taking things out, cleaning up, purging your clothes and your closets and making your beds and that sort of stuff. That's all physical activity. It's all movement based. So all those things again add up during our day. And while it's hard to do some of those things, it's more convenient to park closer to the door. It's maybe easier to let the yard work be done tomorrow, or to get someone in maybe to do it for us. The more we can do those things, and once we get started, that's usually the hardest part, even with exercise. Once we get started, we get into those routines, we feel better, we feel more energetic, and that's typically going to lead us to more physical activity, wanting to maybe park farther away, or maybe wanting to go for a walk at the end of a hard day of work because we've been up and been moving. We don't feel so sluggish and run down and worn out from our day because we've had those movement breaks. We have blood flow and circulation through. Some of that is impeded when we're sitting all the time. The flow isn't there. Our muscle movements is what helps push blood back up to the heart to get rid of that waste products we make as we're moving and doing different things. So if we're seated, it affects that circulation a little bit. So again, getting up part of the day, maybe going for an active lunch. Maybe you can go for a little walk and then sit somewhere and have your lunch at a park, on a bench somewhere, maybe out on the grass. Have your lunch and then walk back to work somewhere close so you can just get out and move around a little bit. All these little breaks, those active meetings, active transport, again, it gives us those breaks, gives us the energy, gets that blood flowing, gets good things circulating. Hormones are released in our body that help us feel good and alert and energetic. So again, we get more things done. We can come home and do more things and feel good and feel more energetic about spending time with our families, and hopefully being able to be involved in what it is they're doing and engaged, and not just kind of slump down and be so exhausted and worn out at the end of the day. And then we all have those days, and it's going to happen, but maybe we can limit it a little bit or minimize it a little bit by making just simple choices. Again, it doesn't have to be a 4-hour workout 3 times a week. Little things like parking farther away from the store or your office door, walking to and from work or biking, even taking public transit, getting to a bus stop, and maybe take the bus stop before your usual one, and then have a little extra walk to your destination, or just getting off the bus and walking to your destination from the bus stop, depending how your city transit is laid out. Sometimes there's a bit of a walk to get to certain places if the bus stops are kind of spaced out. So maybe you can't walk the whole way, but maybe a little public transit, get off the bus, and then maybe you get some steps in that way. I know a big thing in the 80s was females would carry their running or their pumps with them, and they'd wear their running shoes to work or their walking shoes. They'd walk to work or walk through and be comfortable. And then when they got to work, they would slip on the high heels or the work shoes. And then when they left, they would put on the more active shoes. Maybe one of your desk drawers, you have a pair of running shoes or walking shoes that, again, you throw on at lunchtime, you get out for a walk. Or to and from work, you wear the comfortable shoes so you can get a good walk in, get some nice strides in, get things warmed up and loose. And then when you get to work, maybe put on the dress shoes. Guys too, same idea. Maybe wear a little more active shoe to work and from work, and then have your shoes there or bring them with you and change when you get there. Then you're not so worried about scuffing up your shoes or even just having the aches and pains in your feet from being in those shoes all day. And even that, getting out at lunchtime for the walk in the comfortable shoes, again, it gives your feet a little break, helps them just kind of ease up a little bit. If you get out from those condensed shoes, usually those dressier shoes are a little narrow in the toe. Maybe those feet can spread out a little bit and, again, circulate things through and feel better. And then come back to the afternoon with, again, a little more sense of energy, inspiration to plug through what's going on. So thinking of parking farther away, active transport, active meetings, whether they're phone or in person, trying to be out and as active as you can, and thinking of things around the house that you can do. We talked a few weeks about knocking off one of those things on your to-do list that has been there forever. Maybe you just kind of been putting it off. Maybe it's time to dig that out again and look at one of those tasks. And that task will get something off your list, but it also might give you 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour of physical activity. That's just there. It's not something you have to schedule in and plan for. I got to be active from 11 to 1. Oh, I got to clean the gutters. There's lots of leaves. I got to clean the gutters so the rain flows better. That's physical activity. You're up and down the ladder. You're getting things out. Physical activity. An hour, 2 hours of a job. It's there. You get the job done. You feel good. And you feel good because you've been more active and moving. Again, making the most efficient use of our time. Getting more bang for your buck, however you want to say it. So maybe grab that to-do list. If you remember, if you weren't with us, go back a few episodes and see you're getting that one thing, just one of the things done on your to-do list. We've got a weekend coming up, maybe get a couple knocked off. But look at that list. Are there things that are, again, maybe been putting off because you weren't sure when to do it? Maybe you're waiting for, I have a window here, that's why I keep pointing this way. Maybe you're waiting for nice weather. The weather's nicer, it's a little warmer, there's more daylight. Maybe this is the weekend, you get a couple of those things knocked off your list. And again, you get that pat on your back for checking off that list, getting those things done that you've been putting off forever. And you get bonus physical activity time that's going to help you feel good and energetic. That'll maybe help you get the next thing done on that list. Or maybe some things you hadn't even planned. Again, it's all cumulative. It's all momentum based. As soon as we take that first little step, like our pal Blake Miles likes to say, towards big success, that first little step gets the momentum going in that good positive direction. So again, if you're with us here, if you're tuning in a recording, I'd love to hear how you currently get some more physical activity into your day, or are you going to try some of these strategies, or do you have strategies yourself that you're going to try to increase your physical activity? Again, we're not talking exercise like a strenuous 30-minute workout. We're just talking ways to get in more steps, get in a little bit more movement, take advantage of, again, the daylight, the warmer temperatures, things we can do to be a little more active so we can add all this up. And then that's a bonus in addition to maybe our exercise routine or our good nutrition or our hydration, all these things we're working on. Again, all these things benefit each other. They're like cogs in the wheel. They all work together. If we're being more active, we're burning a few more calories. Our energy systems get a little more efficient. We need to put more energy into our bodies and refuel it with our nutrition. We need to hydrate more to have our body feel good and energized to do the work. And doing those healthy habits And that physical activity, it's another one of those that'll increase our desire to want to hydrate and eat well and get a good night's sleep. Again, they all affect each other. So let's hear from you what you're going to do to incorporate a little more physical activity into your daily routine. And if you're not quite sure how to do that, reach out, send me a DM, go into my link tree, my profile, wherever you are, and reach out and contact me. And we can go through some suggestions, some ideas on ways to, again, just simply add a little bit of physical activity, some movement to your daily routines. And we can see just within a short amount of time how great you'll feel just from a little extra bit of physical activity into your day, and how much that will influence the other areas of your life that maybe you're trying to improve and work on as well. So that's it for tonight, gang. Thanks so much for being here. Again, try to get some, your assignment for the week is to try to get some extra physical activity into your day-to-day routines. Have a great week, everyone. We're gonna coupling up. We're gonna talk or have our. Sorry, I'm just so excited because this is getting close. We're gonna have our halftime report. We're getting close to the end again of our 6-month mark of the year already. Hard to believe we're halfway through. We've got a halftime report coming up. We're trying to get the coordinator of the Barrie Terry Fox run on here soon. They have a great Barrie initiative they're running that they want to talk about, but as the run as a whole, we do have a team in again this year, Pat on Your Back Personal Fitness. If you'd like to sponsor the team or sign up to join us in Barrie in September for the run, or wherever you're running from, we'll post the links for that within the next week or so. Or again, send me a DM and I can shoot you the information to join us for that. So a couple of topics coming up. As always, if you have topics you'd like to have us talk about, or if you have any health and fitness questions you want us to tackle here on PatFacts, again, send me a DM, comment here in the chats, and we'll do our best to answer those questions or address those topics on future episodes, because we're here again to help each other grow and evolve and ascend to the end as best we can. So have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, stay hydrated in these warmer temperatures, and with that extra physical activity, again, extra water is going to be necessary. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, remember, always make yourself the priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Stay safe, take care.